orchids. I have quite a few things that are happening, and you know, when spring is coming, everything is starting to grow, but my particular orchids didn't actually stop growing during the winter because they are in semi-hydro, and I provided at least 23 Celsius for them, so that really pushed them and they didn't stop growing, as I said. So I thought you will have a better look on them if I bring each one of them on this little table, and let's say I will have I think 5 parts in this video, and each day I will post another part. So let's get started. Okay, so here we have a beautiful Cattleya orchid. She has a little fungal infection here on the sleeve, but I will actually do a separate video about this. The infection never really spread in the newer growth. This is an orchid which I bought from Orchid Garden in Poland, and it is Cattleya gaskeliana variety Alba. It is a very pretty one. I bought her as a 1 year from flowering size at an auction on eBay. I think I paid about 7 euros for her, so that is pretty good. She has multiple directions of growth, which I really like, and now she is growing super fast. These 2 new growths, about 2 weeks ago they were this size, and here she has 2 more. I think she really loves semi-hydro. We have actually repotted this orchid. I have her for only 1 year, so we have repotted this orchid last year together. At the time I used the smaller leca with ceramis, but that it is really not good for orchids. In about 1 year the roots start to suffocate, so now I have changed all my orchids into the big and perfectly round leca. This is what really works. And here we have a Cattleya orchid which I have received from Rachel, and I am always forgetting to write a tag. I think it is the orange one she has, and I think it's Coastal Sunrise. Alright, so she has also 2 directions of growth, one in here and one here. She's not really very keen on root production, but this year she is starting to finally get established. She is not looking very good. She stayed at that time 3 weeks on transport, but those 3 weeks were like when we have had a huge heat wave, like for 3 weeks we had 35 Celsius, and that really took a toll on the plant. But now she's starting to push up a new growth. She does have a few roots. I put a bit of moss on top to promote more root growth, but she's in semi-hydro. And from this side she's starting a smaller new growth as well, so that is nice. Okay, here we have a gorgeous and huge Cattleya orchid. Again, this one also came with a little fungal infection which didn't spread. It is okay. She is growing huge pseudobulbs now, bigger than she has ever created. I received this one from Rachel as well, from Gardening Adventure. You should really check her channel out. She is an amazing lady. And she didn't give me an idea for her because she didn't have it, and she also has lost the picture with this one, so I really don't know how she looks like. But it is said to be an LC yellow with a magenta leaf. So I am really looking forward for her to get to bloom. Here I have a little pseudobulb which broke off when I was in my old city. This leaf and the one from this pseudobulb was touching a wall, and when I tried to take it off because she had a sheet and I wanted to check out the buds, the pseudobulb completely broken off, because when new growths are not yet all hardened up, they are very crunchy. So I completely broke half of the pseudobulb, the leaf, the buds. That is that. Now she is growing for me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new growths at a time. They are pushing at an amazing rate. She never stopped growing for me, which is nice. Yeah, as I said, the suitable are getting taller and taller and fatter. I am seeing a sheet here inside. I'm not sure if I will be able to show to you, but you will have to take my word. This is not a bifoliate, so whatever I am seeing there, it is a sheet, which is amazing because this is a kind of winter springish growth, and that means I can have my hopes high for this new growth as well. She has a lot of roots, as you can see, and here inside the pot as well. This is why I wanted to do the video like this, rather than how I usually do my updates, because I can completely turn up the pots and show you everything. And here we have another beautiful Cattleya. This is another yellow with a reddish purplish leaf, let's say, but this one it isn't identified. This is Cattleya Phantom Green. I bought this one about 3 years ago from an London orchid show. It is doing pretty well for me, as I said. Here on these two leaves I have some hail damage from 3 years ago, when I put my orchids in the garden and we had a hail storm. So now I am sticked with these horrible leaves. She has 2 directions of growth, one here in the back and one here. She never bloomed for me ever since, but the suitables are getting larger and larger. I see that this new growth is really fat, so we might actually get some blooms from this growth, and hopefully from this one as well. She is also full of roots and full of algae, but we already established that algae doesn't do any bad for the orchid, so she will stay as it is. Her roots are also branching. I hope you can see here. All my Cattleya orchids are branching out in semi-hydro, and that is pretty nice. Okay, and here I have 2 Cattleya orchids which I have bought from Secret Garden. You will see that the vast majority of my orchid collection, it is based on Cattleyas, because I really love their blooms. They are gorgeous plants, and they are really easy to grow and rebloom. So this Cattleya orchid is quite interesting, let's say. She has a lot of roots, and we have repotted this orchid together, but I think the video in Romanian, because I didn't had any tutorial on how to repot Cattleya orchids in my native language. I hope you can see how many roots she produced. She has been repotted about 2 months ago. What else should I say? This is an orchid which needs quite a lot of nutrients, and especially calcium and magnesium. She does tend, as you can see, to produce some distorted leaves. I have had this orchid for about 4 or 5 months now, let's say, and she has produced ever since these tiny growths here, 1, 2, 3 growths. And now it is producing 1, 2, 3, 4 new growths, I think. 5 new growths, which is pretty amazing. They are different sizes. These 2 in the back are a bit bigger, and these ones from here, they are a bit smaller, but she has a lot of eyes, and the blooms are gorgeous. She is an orange Cattleya with a red lip. Gorgeous blooms. I will try to show to you. I didn't yet found her ID, so I am looking forward to seeing again the blooms, and maybe this time one of you will be able to identify her for me. I'm really looking up at this leaf because I see an infection starting to occur, and she has stayed next to that Cattleya which did present a weird fungal disease, and I have recently discovered another Cattleya which got infected, so I might actually start to I will cut this portion of the leaf, and I will spray her with a strong solution of Physan. I think I am managing to stop that infection on the first Cattleya that got ever infected with that. but I do believe that it is capable of spreading. I'm not sure if it is indeed the same infection, or if the orchid actually doesn't has anything, because here I see also some necrotic spots, but they are raised, and here on the suitable bulb as well. So she came with all this in my care. I will see. Anyway, it is spring, so I have started to do again the fusarium treatment. Fusarium, it is a fungus, so I am applying on a regular basis fungicides. So if this is a fungal infection, that substance should, or those substances, because I am changing them, should stop the infections as well. We will see exactly what will happen. Here I have a gorgeous Cattleya. This is not a registered name, but I have found her, I think at Claes and Orchidian or some orchid shop anyway. It is an LC Mini Purple crossed with Puppy Love Pink Beauty. So that is a nice name. I got her also from Secret Garden from Romania. And this is another Cattleya which is growing amazingly well for me. I have repotted her, and some of the old roots died. I didn't repotted the orchid to cut those which died, but I did raise them up, because someday when I will have time I will do some maintenance thing on them, like I have to cut this dried sheet and a lot of other things. But she has produced a lot of root growth. I'm hoping you can see here, and she is pushing up 4 new growths at a time. I really love this orchid company, let's say. They are only distributing orchids, and yeah, they don't have a greenhouse or something of the sort. It is just an orchid shop. Yeah, pretty orchids. Okay, here, oopsie. Here we have a Cattleya germania. This is a Cattleya species. Again, this orchid came to me about 3 years ago with a fungal disease. We can see here on the suitable, I will bring you a bit closer, but it really didn't spread, and I think this is because I am doing that fusarium treatment, which is also effective on other funguses as well. I have divided this orchid recently. This is why it is so small, but I really like to divide the Cattleyas when they get to a proper size and get rid of the old pseudobulbs. Those can sprout out again, and usually the back bulbs don't look so pretty because they are oldish. The leaves of course did suffer in time. So she's producing this big new growth, really pretty. It is also pushing up here some new roots, and she has a lot of roots in the pot as well. It is not very stable, so I might put a stick to stabilize her. Here we have another species. This is Cattleya gaskeliana. Very pretty one. Also these two are both from the same nursery. I think it is called Grancher Orchidian. It is a German name, so I am not really pronouncing it correctly. The orchid is growing bigger and bigger every year. These are actually the two biggest pseudobulbs which has been produced in my care last summer. She is growing pretty nice for me. I have her for 2 years now. Again, I made a little division from the back too, and now she's growing this pseudobulb. This has been growing for the past 2 months, I think, and she is producing a lot of growths. This is the first time I am seeing this second leaf or sheet. Some Cattleyas do produce pretty thick sheets, and they might resemble another leaf. We will see exactly what we'll do. Here in the back I do have one growth which did produce 2 leaves, so we cannot be sure, but this other growth, so she has 2 directions of growth as well. This other growth is also producing that second something. We will see exactly what it will be. I don't think she has buds. I don't feel anything inside. I might actually try to bring the flashlight. See if there is exactly something inside or not. I think it's just a second leaf. Here is where the pseudobulbs end. It will elongate more, and those are the leaves, so I don't see anything. And on this side, I think it's the same situation. Yeah, I believe that is only a second leaf. It doesn't have any darkness on it, so that is nice. Here in the front you are seeing a Cattleya which I have bought from Schwerter about 4 years ago. She has been divided 2 times ever since. One division went to Dani and one I think I made for sale, and I am waiting to see if it sprouts, or I don't really remember. I really know I've done 2 divisions. This is a Cattleya CNC Lodison Summer Beauty. It has a very beautiful blooms, and they are pink with a white lip. That is an unusual trait in Cattleyas. Usually the lip is darker than the sepals and petals, but she is different, as I said. She is producing a beautiful new growth here, and let me show you. She is absolutely full of fruits. She's a happy orchid. They are branching out also. Very nice. Here we have a Cattleya which I bought from Orchids and More in Germany. I also divided this orchid once, and I gave a division to Dani. I'm trying to make them less unruly. She also has a lot of fruits, like you are seeing. I hope you are able to see, because we do have quite a bit of algae, and she is producing a very fat and pretty new growth, so that is pretty nice. Okay, let's start with the Vanda. This is a Vanda Lavender Mist. It came from Schwerter, but it was a gift from a viewer. She had it for a few years, but it didn't do great for her. She got a horrible spider mite infestation, so at that point she has sent it to me, and the leaves don't look pretty good. It is quite weird. I don't think the light is so good. Okay, so yeah, she doesn't have very pretty leaves, but these 3 which have been growing since I got her about 8 months ago, they are without spider mites and without any spots or blemishes, which is good. And for the first time she has been producing some roots for me, because ever since I got her she didn't grow any root until now. So she has a dozen of new roots or root tips that are starting to grow, but she's not producing any new root from the stem as far, but I do feel some bumps, so we will see. I'm not really oh, she's producing a new root here. I didn't see this one so far. Very pretty. As I was saying, I don't expect this orchid to bloom anytime soon, because she is severely set back. But who knows, maybe in a year or 2 I will see her in bloom. She has gorgeous blooms. I know Roger has this orchid as well. And yeah, I do fertilize her properly, I do care for her properly, so in the near future we might actually get a spike. She does have available eyes, but now it is time for her to recover. I am waiting for her to lose lose the old leaves because she's a sick orchid. She's very sensitive. We can see here I got some burns, and that is from morning winter sunlight. So that is how sensitive she is right now. But when she will lose these ugly leaves, she will produce some cakeys from the stem. She is producing a lot of fruits right now, which is very, very nice. And when those new cakeys will grow, I am expecting the old stem to be leafless, but the cakeys to cover them up. So that is nice. Here I have a pretty African violet. I wanted to show to you because she's in semi-hydro in Leca and Ceramis, and she is producing now some spikes. I propagated this one from olive, and I do have some spotted leaves. I got them at the start when the leaves were really small, and some water stayed on them, so that is no problem. Here we have a gorgeous and very big orchid. This is a BC Saint Andre. Oh no, this is a yellow bird, Brassavola. They say BL, yellow bird, but it is a cross between Brassavola nodosa and something else. I really don't remember. Anyway, she is a yellow bird, and she is producing some new growths here. She is growing super fast. Usually she is growing at least 9 growths per year, but I'm expecting this year to be better. At this time, let's count them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new growths, and it is only spring, so she will grow more. She doesn't need a lot of sun to bloom, and I have put her in Catla light, but here I have sunlight in the morning hours until from 9 usually till 12 o'clock, let's say, maybe a bit more, and she got really purpley like, and that is a bit too much for her, so she doesn't need a lot of sunlight. I'm usually trying to clean up these sheets as I work around the orchids because I don't like them. So this is what I am doing, and this orchid blooms reliably for me about 2 times a year. I made a division from this, and I am preparing her for sale, so as I said, you should contact me at miracleorchidsaround.yahoo.com or .com in English. Yeah, she is a very pretty orchid, and she is growing super fast and very easy to rebloom, very fragrant in the night time. Here we have an Oncidium Cherry Baby, a very pretty one. It has huge pseudobulbs. I hope you can see that, and a lot of roots. I think the tag is staying in your way. I hope you are able to see that. The pseudobulbs are very plump, and she is very happy in semi-hydro. Look how many roots she has here. Yeah, and this new growth is growing pretty fast. It has been growing for the past month and a half. A very nice one, and I am expecting her to bloom when the pseudobulb matures in about 6 months. But this orchid, it is also for sale because it is happening that I have 3 share babies and I really don't need them, so this one is also for sale. Okay, let's start from this one. This is a Dendrobium phalaenopsis type. I bought him from Auchan in my old city about 8 months ago, and he has lost then every single root, and just now he is starting to push up some new roots. I put up some moss to encourage root growth, but now I see that the root tips did die back. I'm not really sure what this is. He did try to bloom from the new growths. I'm seeing some new roots on this other bulb here. so I'm waiting him to recover. But if he doesn't recover during this year, he will go into the trash, because it is a big orchid and it should be very vigorous in producing new roots. I don't think the new roots should die. There are multiple causes from which new root tips get black and die. It can be an over fertilizing thing, but it is not my case. It can be a deficiency, reason for which you can only try to apply proper fertilizers, but that is all. And yeah, it can be a calcium deficiency, magnesium deficiency. It can be many things, but nothing that I am seeing on the new leaves. I don't have any new growths which are dying, which makes me believe that it is not a calcium deficiency. So it is also possible to be a fusarium issue, reason for which I am trying to apply, as I said, every month a fusarium treatment, and some orchids do make it and recover and some not. I can of course make a little division here in the back and see actually what is happening with him, if he has fusarium or not, but I will in any case give him this last year to or this year to properly grow for me. I don't want to have in my collection anymore orchids which are sick. So either they have fusarium and they recover, either they have a deficiency which I am really prepared to give them all my time, because they will recover from deficiencies. But if they are just sick orchids with fusarium or other diseases, and I am not able to rebloom them and to root them at least, they will just go. I don't have space, and I have a lot of orchids which are coming, so I need a space. Here we have a cattleya from Dani. This is a miniature cattleya. She doesn't take a lot of sunlight. I have done a division from this one, which I am selling. She has bloomed for me one time, but I got bad blast because I opened up the window and it was in winter. She has a ton of fruits. I hope you can see. Here and here and here. And here, oopsie, we can see a lot. She has now 2 new growths. Very small ones here at the base, and she doesn't need a lot of sunlight, so she is staying in oncidium light, and she is getting really all purpley like, so yeah. And here we have a very ugly cattleya. I bought her, this one about 8 months ago from, or 1 year ago, from Orchid garden in Poland, and the orchids stayed in the winter time 2 weeks on transport. This one was from an auction, and she had fusarium, and we have tested it together. It was potted in a clay pot with holes. I took it off, I tested it, it had fusarium. I am trying to apply fusarium treatment on her, but at least the last year's new roots did die for me, but she was also in that small leca with ceramis, which do suffocate the roots in time. Now I see some very strong and pretty ones, which I hope will survive. That would mean that the orchid did recover from fusarium. And now she has produced the prettiest growth she have ever gave me, with 2 new leaves. I don't know what orchid this is. I only know it is a white hybrid, so we will see. Yeah, I am very hopeful I will get her to bloom, because when I have an OID orchid, I am really excited when I see the buds. So let's put them back, and I actually think this is pretty much all, guys. So I will come tomorrow, I hope, with the second part of the video that will be from the orchids that are in the living room. And yeah, If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below and I will be more than happy to answer them for you. And if you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching and see you all next time. Bye!